Hello all, it is your boy, Alyx Man, and welcome to another SummerSlam review for my SummerSlam review series. We go into 1999, dead set in the middle of the Attitude Era. So of course, most of you are wondering, hey, perhaps, maybe, this was another amazing show. Hey, it's the Attitude Era, right? Everything is golden, everything is sugar and honey. The characters are amazing, the shows are fantastic, the matches are 5 stars. It's all good, right? Right? SummerSlam was amazing, right? Yeah. About that. When it comes to 1999 for WWF, that's one of those years that, I'll be real with you, it had its moments, but I don't remember much about it. Because this is that mentality that a lot of wrestlers talk about, where you go hardcore all the freaking time. And if you do that, it stops being important, it stops being impactful, it stops being amazing, and it just becomes normal. It makes the audience expect that every single week. And see, in 1999, when Vince Russo was doing his craziness and making every single show a reality TV-based WWF, which, hey, I'll be honest with you, it was entertaining. It sold out arenas. It got people to give their money. You know, it made characters. It put people over. So we can't give Vince Russo too much crap, but the problem is, when you do this stuff all the time, it stops feeling important. You just expect it. And I think WWF was suffering from that. It's just an oversaturation of reality TV, TV-14 craziness. And I think because of that, it made the shows feel kind of meh. And I think SummerSlam suffered from that exact same thing. The show was not bad. Neither was it something I would watch more than once. Nothing compared to 1998 SummerSlam. So much better. So much better. But I just feel like, in terms of, I don't know, it's hard to describe how I feel about this show. I just feel odd. It's weird. It's a weird feeling. Because, look, there were some good things about this show. The main event in particular was really good. Still, I don't see this as one of those SummerSlams I would go back and watch again. And that's just my opinion. Give me your thoughts about it down below as I talk about it. Let's just go ahead and get into some details, and then we'll get into why I feel this way. The show was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It was premiered on August 22nd, 1999 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Target Center. The attendance was 17,370. I'm assuming it was a small building, because that's a little lower than I expected to be, because it was sold out, for sure. Commentary was Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. Ring announcer, of course, was Howard the Fink. And now, we get into the first match, which I believe was... And see, this is the weirdness I'm talking about. It was a WWF Intercontinental and European Championship match. Both championships were on the line, and it was being defended at the exact same time by one person. Don't know how we got here, but we're here. Jeff Jarrett took on D'Lo Brown, and we had the lovely Deborah, not Deborah, but Deborah in the corner of Jeff Jarrett. Well, not really. She was in the corner of Jeff Jarrett, and then he got jealous that this lovely eye candy was getting all the attention taken from him. I wonder why. I wonder why Deborah got all the attention. Listen, if we're going to do eye candy, this is how you do it. This is all the eye candy I will take any day. Deborah was hot. Lord have mercy. Austin picked that one up real quick and married her. Put a ring on it, as he should have. But yeah, Deborah was hot, man. I miss Deborah. She's still alive, right? She should be. Anyways, she was coming out with Jeff Jarrett, but he got jealous and sent her to the back, and so she came out with D'Lo Brown, the champion, Mr. Swagger himself. The match was solid. Liked a lot of stuff they did in there. Mark Henry came out and turned on D'Lo Brown for whatever reason. Why did he turn on D'Lo Brown? I don't even remember. This is the craziness I'm talking about. He just did a heel turn on D'Lo Brown because... For real, what was the reason? I don't remember. It wasn't all that important. Otherwise, I would have remembered. Regardless, Jeff Jarrett wins both the European and IC championships. And yeah, he's a dual champion. Don't even remember how he got that, but it happened. Moving on, we have a tag team turmoil for the, well, not for the tag team championships, for a shot at the tag team championships. It was Edge and Christian before they were 5-second pose Edge and Christian. This is after they were a part of Gangrel's Brood, but they got kicked out and replaced with the Hardy Boys, who are the new Brood. But basically, it's Edge and Christian in this turmoil match, and it's basically a gauntlet match for tag teams. But Edge and Christian ended up beating Hardys in the first match. That one was really good. They ended up beating Viscera and Median in the next match. That one was solid. You know, Viscera, who was Mabel. Remember Mabel? Yeah, that crappy gimmick. He's better as Viscera, trust me. And then they end up beating Droz and Prince Albert. A-Train, who, by the way, very underrated. When we start talking about him, I'm going to have a lot of good things to say about him. That one was a decent match. And then they fight the Acolytes, who are APA, Bradshaw and Farouk, before JBL was JBL. He was Bradshaw, John Bradshaw Layfield. Decent match. And then we did the Acolytes after they beat Edge and Christian. And of course, Edge and Christian were the highlights of the match. But the Acolytes end up fighting the Hollies. That's Hardcore and Crash Holly. And apparently they were having issues at this point. They were a dysfunctional tag team, and Crash ended up fighting Hardcore. And see, this is the craziness I'm talking about. It's one of those things where we're getting stuff happening. This is what I'll say. Compared to nowadays where nothing is happening, a lot was happening. But there is that extreme where too much is happening to where you just get kind of, okay, don't know what's going on there, whatever. And then there's this other extreme where nothing is happening. It can't be just normal for WWE or WWF. It's one or the other. You either have a lot of things happening or nothing's happening. So a lot was happening here, and I just kind of stopped caring after a while. The Acolytes win, and they end up fighting the tag team champions tomorrow night on Raw, which I believe, yeah, we'll get to them in a second. But it was decent. I liked some stuff on there. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Next is the debut of Chris Jericho, Y2J, who actually came into WWF this year, but it wasn't a match. It was a promo. And the promo was kind of long. And it was almost sleep-inducing. No offense to Chris Jericho. But essentially, he came out. He said he was disappointed because WWF put on this pay-per-view called Slummer. So I like this. Well, I said Slummer. Summerslam. Summerslam. And the people were conned into wasting their money because Chris Jericho is not on the freaking show. Road Dogg just so happened to be out there doing commentary for the hardcore match, and he called out Road Dogg. He ripped into him for his stupid clothing and Stevie Wonder hairstyle, and he said DX sucks. And Road Dogg responded to him, says, "Why don't you shut up, bitch?" And then said, "I got 2 words for ya." You know, all that stuff. It was just a waste of time. Like, why? You have Chris Jericho. How do you not have anything for him? Vince. Sorry. My bad. But next is that hardcore match I was talking about. This was fun. We had Big Boss Man versus Al Snow, and it was literally the typical WWF hardcore match. They brawled everywhere. They went across the street to bars and a cafe. They went all over the place. I love matches like this where they explore the arena and go outside the arena, and then you had Road Dogg on live commentary following them on the microphone. It was really cool. Road Dogg ends up helping Al Snow win the Hardcore Championship from Big Boss Man, and I'm pretty sure he gets a title shot for that the very next night, right? We'll have to see. But yeah, the new Hardcore Champion was Al Snow, who apparently was not doing the head gimmick no more. Don't understand why. He was doing this gimmick with the dog Pepper, which, oh yeah, that leads to that Kennel from Hell match. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's move on. I forgot all about that match until I was reminded of it by Pepper. Oh, shoot. This is not even better. This is, well, compared to the Kennel from Hell match, this is a classic. But next is the WWF Women's Championship match, Ivy versus Tori. Look, Tori, as fine as she was, could not wrestle a lick. She was fine, but she was not a good wrestler. Ivory, it depends on who she was wrestling. She couldn't carry a match. She didn't carry this match. This was horrible. This was bad. Honestly, the best part was post-match when Ivory tried to disrobe Tori to embarrass her. Oh no, don't disrobe Tori. That's gonna embarrass her. Oh no, don't do that. Don't disrobe Tori. It's like, okay, sure, just get naked, whatever. She was stopped by Luna Vachon. Nothing else to say about this. Tori almost got naked. Woo! Memorable moments. We had a Rock interview backstage. He was being interviewed with Michael Cole. And look, he recently turned babyface. He's beginning. He's in the beginning stages of his classic promo style. He's testing out his new catchphrases in front of the millions. It doesn't matter if you smell eyebrow what the Rock is cooking. He's doing all of that, but it's not quite at the level you expect it to be right now. As we get further along into 2000, oh bruh, everything he says is money. So next year's SummerSlam, I'm gonna spend a lot of time on The Rock's promo. You wanna know why? Because it needs to be. It needs to be given its own spotlight. He becomes a promo god in the 2000s. It literally becomes a mainstay of the show. The Rock cutting his promos. But following that, we had another Lions Den match. I think this is the second. Yeah, the second Lions Den match in SummerSlam history. It's Ken Shamrock, who is the owner of the match, taking on Steve Blackman. Now, this was a weird match. It wasn't really a wrestling match. It was more of a early 90s action movie kind of style match. You know what I'm saying? Those Jean-Claude Van Damme hardcore action-y kind of matches. I mean, I was cool with it. I liked it, but can we call it a match? Yeah, it had a weird finish. Like, Steve Blackman got hit on the head with a kendo stick and he got knocked out. Someone's cutting the grass next to me. I apologize for that. But, Ken Shamrock wins? Yay! And then we have a street fight between Tess and Shane McMahon. Tess is currently in a relationship, or trying to be in a relationship with Stephanie McMahon. Before she became the spoiled brat $1 million princess we all love to hate, she was just Stephanie. The girl next door. The girl next door, Stephanie. Remember that, Stephanie McMahon? Yeah, those were some interesting times. Regardless, Tess was fighting Shane. It was a good match. It's Shane McMahon and Tess. Everything Shane did back then, I gotta be honest. Like, if I had to make a list of the most underrated wrestlers in history, Shane's going on there. Top 10 for sure. Top 10 for sure. This man is way too good. He's way too good for what he should be. He's the son of the owner, and he's wrestling better than some of the actual wrestlers. Isn't that interesting? Oh, he gets better. When we get into 2001, well, does he wrestle? He does wrestle in 2001, but not SummerSlam 2001. I think he does wrestle next year, though. When does he have that match with Steve Blackman? That's next year, right? Yeah! When we get to 2000, oh, bruh. We're going to have a lot to talk about when it comes to Shane next year. But anyways, Tess versus Shane. It was a good match. That's all I got to say about it. All the typical Shane stuff that you usually see. Him doing the crazy elbow from the turnbuckle to the announcer table. He did all of that. Tess, very underrated. That's another underrated wrestler. But Tess ends up winning, and then Stephanie ran out to embrace him. They did an angle later on this year where Triple H had Stephanie, marry him without her consent. And we later find out that she did have consent, and it was all a work. Man, this is one of those things where you go back and you remember some of the craziness from WWF back in the day, and you go, what happened, y'all? What happened to y'all? Y'all used to do some crazy stuff. Tag team titles, Kane and X-Pac. Yeah, they were a thing. I forgot about that. That was one of those odd tag teams that actually worked, surprisingly. Taking on The Undertaker and Big Show with Paul Bearer. Well, this was alright. Some cool stuff in there, but not much else to say. Big Show and Taker win. Taker was in the stage of his, Lord of Darkness run, who, I don't know, it's weird. like a couple of months before this, he was the WWF champion, and now he's competing for the tag team titles. It's weird to just talk about what they were doing with Taker. It was just a lot. Again, 1999 was packed with so much. It's hard to even remember unless you go back and watch it. Kiss My Ass match. The Rock versus Badass Billy Gunn. Oh yeah, Billy Gunn was the heel at this time. Look, again, decent match. The Rock wins. I don't really know what else to say about this one because, Billy Gunn was like the number 2 heel in the company. Yeah, because Triple H was number 1, and he was number 2, and that's also a problem we don't talk about. Like during this time, there weren't a lot of strong heels. You know, it's kind of weird when you stop and think about, and this is just my opinion. During this time, we had a lot of likable characters, but not really a lot of people hate. Now Vince was that guy in 1998, but he's no longer here. And so Triple H is not quite at that level, and he won't be until 2000, much later. But he'll get there. We don't really see like the strong heels come around until 2000. That's when Kurt Angle shows up. That's when Edge and Christian turn heel. That's when, Triple H takes over with Stephanie in his corner. That's when Vince comes back. That's when we do so many better things that make us hate the heels, and the writing's so much better. And guys, look, when we get to 2000, it's just gonna get so much better. You're not even gonna believe yourselves. But main event, as I said, was good. WWF Championship. Special guest referee was Jesse the Body Ventura taking on Austin, Mankind, and Triple H with China. Now, initially, it was supposed to be China in this match. I heard rumors that they were gonna do China, but I think she got hurt. So, yeah, they replaced her with Mankind, I believe. You had to remind me of the story with what happened to China, because they were going to have her in this match, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, Mankind ends up winning the match. I'm very confused why we didn't give the belt to Triple H. I mean, he ends up winning the belt the very next night on Raw. Anyways, so why didn't we give Triple H the belt here? Okay, whatever. Mankind wins. Woo! It's like, okay. So there's that. There we go. That's SummerSlam 1999. Weird show. Give me your thoughts about it. Maybe I'm just one of those, snarky, negative, critical, overanalyzing fans that look at this and just break it down a little too much. I should just have some fun, right? Seriously, I watched it. I'm not going to go watch it again. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you watch this again. That would be nice. But thank you for watching. This is your boy Alyx signing off right here in Alyx Man's World. See you in 2000 for what should be one of the best SummerSlams in history. Peace out.